Welcome back to Coldtake podcast on BSN. This is episode 7. I am joined by Brandon and Comrade Ginger. So,
Hello.
What's up, guys?
welcome back. Welcome back. We are in week 2, or just past week 2 of the BHL regular season, season 6. Um, a lot's happened, so yeah, we got a lot to talk about today.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
and I think we're going to start first out with our um, description and uh, analysis, of each game. So, can someone please tell me what the first game is?
I got you. No problems. The first game was the Hartford Whalers. Were away against the San Francisco Flight, and the Whalers won. Hold up.
Not
Let me
by
check
much
this
though. It's like
out.
3-2, I think.
Let me look at box scores real quick.
Pretty good game overall. Comrade played in that game. He's a Hartford Whaler,
It was a
so
pretty good game, but the Flight only had 3 people, so stamina was really hurting them.
but they still got 2 goals, and so props to them. There's
Yeah,
they're really close to getting a win. They
yeah.
remain
It
winless
was
as of now, but they're just missing something. Like
Yeah.
they just
They're
need.
missing depth. That's really all we need.
Yeah.
I feel like if San Francisco could get at least 4 players to show up, this team is way better than it looks because Blazy's a really good player. It's just
Mhm.
they didn't it's they just only are showing up with 3 players. And this game was 3-2. It was a very close game. Blazy scored 2 goals and Hartford scored 3. And W5K had a hat trick, which he did pretty good this game.
Another thing is that, like, I agree with you how they are lacking depth because they got forwards, right? They got a first line, and they have goaltending. Like Drago's actually like a pretty good goalie. Like, I'm not gonna lie, he's
Yeah, he's
actually
not bad.
he's actually pretty
For the
good.
first game, since his first game, like the first game he played terrible, the way he's playing now, he's been playing pretty good.
I'd say at least like top. I mean, he's up there in the goalies right now. He's
Yeah.
he's a really underrated. He's actually really underrated, in my opinion, because people aren't talking about him. I think he's like I don't know if he's a rookie, but he's
No,
not.
he's a veteran actually.
He's a vet, so for coming back, first season back, he's playing really well and he's keeping up with the new stick mechanics. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, still impressive by the flight. They're just missing something. Like they like one more signing really to
I feel like if free agency, I feel like they could really boom in that because
yeah.
they're gonna have a lot of cap.
But I feel like I really want San Francisco to get a win at some point.
Yeah. What was I gonna say, Comrade? What is your opinion on this game since you played?
Well, since I was in the game, I noticed the flight. They were really hard on the board play because they only had 3 people, and so that was really prevalent. But as I said, they only had 3 people. What can they do? Um, W5K absolutely went off that game, as you mentioned. Then the flight took a couple bad penalties. Like I instigated a penalty, but it wasn't called, and so is what it is.
He still won, so
Yeah, we still won, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Oil Ray
Good
also
game.
got an assist that game.
Yep.
So for the next game, it was Michigan versus Ice Caps. And this game, this was a
Ooh.
really good game. This was a really good
Probably
game.
second best game of the week,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
In my opinion, Winnipeg, in my opinion, they played their second line too much. Their first line is what you have to
I
rely
wasn't
on.
really getting that, and also especially at the end,
Yeah,
why did they play
yeah.
like in the last minute? Like
Yeah. Berto and Jets had 0, and then Zon was like really high where they had their second line out. I just don't understand that. They could have easily scored.
yeah, I mean
Not Zon. Zon was in goal, but it was not the
they
best
still
team.
had
They
Jam
really
and
could have
like
scored.
Lynch or Mia. I forget who, but
Yeah, they. I feel like they definitely could have
just from
scored,
a
but this.
like coaching
Yeah,
standpoint, made no sense to me as why you would play yours. I mean, like their first line had stamina too. Like they were ready to go. They could easily have killed off the period.
yeah. Also, this game was so back and forth. Like when I'm looking at it, the Hornets scored, then the Ice Caps scored. The Ice Caps scored, then the Hornets scored, then the Hornets scored, then the Ice Caps scored, then the Hornets scored, then the Ice Caps scored, and then the Hornets eventually got an OT.
And was it? No, it was single overtime.
And Sam, I have to give Sam some props this game. Even though it doesn't look good on the stat sheet, he played really good, especially with those boomers coming in.
He's been playing well all season. Just the Winnipeg defense really has not been
Yeah,
helping him out
it's
at
collapsed.
all. Like,
Yeah.
the amount of shots he takes per game is ridiculous. He makes a lot of saves, and then he gets dissed on the stat sheet because he gets like demolished because he's
Yeah.
getting battered constantly with slap shots. The Winnipeg defense, in my opinion, is one of the biggest issues for them, aside from their second line. Going forward, they need to fix their defense because, and it showed later on Saturday against Hartford. It really showed, like, badly. So
yeah.
we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah. Conrad, what was your opinion on this game?
Well, I mean, as you guys kind of mentioned, hat tricks and pair, they bunched up a lot. I've got my notes here. It looked like they didn't really communicate too much. And it was a lot of just Jets in Birdo for Winnipeg. That was pretty much what I saw in the first three periods. At least that's what was going on to me. And a lot of back and forth play, as you mentioned. One team would score a goal, the other would respond. I mean, it was a pretty good game to watch. It was fun if you were in the attendance, I guess, and kind of a heartbreaker if you were a Winnipeg fan.
Another thing about Pear is, he looks lost on the ice. Like, you just watch him, he just looks lost to me. Like, maybe
In my opinion, it's because Ice Caps, they don't train their rookies that much. And Pear, that he doesn't know what to do. I feel like it's the lack of communication.
Yeah, and I don't know if they VC or not.
They do VC, but I doubt. I think Pear doesn't have a mic, and I don't think they talk that much.
Yeah, he just looks like he doesn't know what's going on, and like, cause he bunches up a lot, like especially with Jets too. Like when he's on playing with Jets, I think if he just had some more awareness, then he'd be more effective. Cause it's not, he can like hit the puck and stuff like.
So. Yeah. Also, I feel like Jets is molding his talent. He has a really good team. He has Birdo and Hatrix. Hatrix is a really good prospect, and he's molding him into like a career second liner. And then Pear, you have to play rookie in scrims. Rookies don't come that often. Maybe I think there's 3 this season, and 2 of them went to Hollywood. And then there's goalie to Michigan. Then you have Pear. You have a forward prospect or defensive prospect that has potential, and you're not developing him. And I feel like this has to do a lot with not really trying when it's not game time. You know what I mean?
Right. I don't mean, does Pear ever practice? Like,
he gets on the server sometimes when we're scrimming, but there's no one to teach him because no one's on his team, so no one's gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and Jet's still on during the weekend because he has like a job and stuff, so it's tough. But I totally agree. I mean, the thing that's holding Hatrick back, I think, is really that second line because he doesn't like when he's playing with Jets or Birdo. I think he can excel a lot better because they can guide him like when he's still young.
In my opinion, the best thing to do is put Jets and Pear on the line and then Birdo and Hatricks.
Tough break. I mean, Jets and Birdo though, that chemistry was one of some of the best in the league.
I know, but when both of them are off, it's
maybe
terrible.
Against like like the flight or something like a low importance game you could experiment a little bit, but
yeah,
these are games you need to win or try to win at least.
For sure. All right, so are you ready for the next game or?
Conrad, you got anything to say, or are we ready to move on?
Nope. Next game.
Okay. Next game was the first of yesterday. It was Hollywood, and they traveled to the Freeway Series. They traveled to San Francisco, and San Francisco again only having 3 players.
So this is the final game of the Hollywood road trip. The score was like 7-1 or something like that.
7-1. Yep, 7-1.
First game back for Brandon, and E to D was there too. So
yeah. Brandon or me, literally, I think it was the quickest goal in BHL history. It was 9 seconds in.
Yeah, I think I sent it was an assist by me, and I sent one. I don't know I forget how the goal played out.
Okay, so what happened was right away I won the face off and took a slap shot. It almost went in, but the goalie hit it out. Then it went like behind the net. I passed it to you, and then you hit the post, and
Oh,
I
you
hit the
tapped it
puck,
in, yeah.
and then I hit the goalie, but I hit the goalie after.
So yeah.
Yeah, comrade, what was your? Because you're the one commentating. How do you feel about this game?
I mean, there were some bad defensive plays by the Flight that, if they wouldn't have done, maybe it would have been a closer game. But like as you said, they only had 3 people. I mean, there's not too much they can do, and like I guess Hollywood's supposed to be like this amazing team, from what I hear. I don't know. So
I think
yeah,
they're right,
it is
honestly.
what it is.
I think the reports are right that Hollywood
One
is
thing I also wanted to say is Hollywood was spreading out this game as well as developing Sniper. I feel like this game was a perfect example of what you want to see. You're developing a rookie, you're spreading out them to waste stamina, and you're making them chase. And I feel like that's what it came down to.
Mhm. I mean, I got my first hat trick, and then Brandon got like notched like 2 goals.
Yeah, and keep this in mind also. There was 5 assists for the hat trick, so a lot of setups happened.
So yeah, I mean, we we warm up like before our game days, like our games, um, and we always practice. I know it's kind of weird, but like it does pay off honestly in the games when you like work on your
Yeah,
passing with your line mate. Because if you just watch
yeah,
me and Brandon that game, I'm like getting shots. I'm like putting the puck to the net. Like our shots on net have increased dramatically, and like me and Brandon have like a rhythm, like that we get into, and it works. I mean, people like clown on practicing, but like it
it
works.
works, but you have to know what you're doing. You can't just scrim in a practice. You have to
Yeah,
learn stuff. You have to learn game game time scenario, as what I usually do.
you have to learn with your team too. Like scrimming is good and all, but really, if you're scrimming with like random people, it's only gonna help you out. It's gonna help you out on the skill side, like with your stick and stuff, and like your puck control.
But
But
not passing.
yeah, but really, what you need to practice is your chemistry with your line mate and your teammates, and that's gonna help you out a lot.
Also, oh, okay, my bad.
Sorry, you can go.
Oh, okay. So also one thing I want to add with scrimming is you need to learn. It's not just what was I gonna say? It's not just all about scoring. It's not all about that. It's about setting up stuff. And I feel like a lot. Also, one thing about scrimming is no one really takes it serious, and I feel like that doesn't help either.
Mhm.
And I feel like if you do like a team practice and you take it seriously, I feel like that's what gets you better.
Right. I mean, it's gonna make you an effective, like a more effective team overall too. And that's how you also, that's where you get in the time to like to teach your prospects what to do, how to play. Instead of just relying on them to like go to scrimmages. Like these are the times in team practice where you can like really teach them one on one, like how to play the game if you're more experienced. And that's how like you
Yeah.
develop prospects really, like to get them at an effective and good rate of growth.
Mhm.
So yeah. All right. Anyways, next
Next
game.
game is game of the week.
Easy.
It was built up since last podcast. It was the Michigan Hornets traveling to the Hollywood Hat Tricks.
My
You know,
my.
this game, dude, Michigan. Honestly, hats off to Ram. He and our defense saved us so many times, and this game was so back and forth. Oh, it was such a good one to see.
Oh man,
Um,
I think I've
and
watched it
then
like 10 times at least.
yeah, it was a really good game to watch, especially the overtime. That 2v2, that was crazy.
Oof. God, bro. I mean, I think it was just
Everyone,
nerves for both teams the whole
I
time.
feel like if you're decent, I feel like if you made a decent prediction, I feel like ever since that the whole game, Hornets were basically playing better. Hatrix was trying to contain,
Hmm.
and then we got one whiff was all it took, and put in the back of the net to end their 17-game win
I
streak.
mean, it wasn't like a whiff really. Like it was a good setup, honestly. Like,
Yeah,
but EXO was out of position, and you just got to pass them, and there is no going back.
3-2-15. Yeah, it was an 18-game win streak they had, if you count postseason.
Wow.
That's
And
ooh.
I think people predicted though that it would end this season at some point.
I feel like it would end, but I mean, yeah, that was a really
But no,
good game.
we really wanted to win that game though, like really badly.
Yeah, that game it didn't start off hot.
Yeah.
Comrade, what is your opinion on this game?
Michigan got off to a fast start in the first period with Squid and everybody, and there was a couple good chances around the 1 minute mark, so around the closing minutes of the period, and then there was a bad line change there in 2 OT, and that cost them the game. So
It wasn't actually a line change. I think
It wasn't a line change. No,
Exo
EXO
just
just
backed
went around.
off. I don't know why he
Yeah,
did though. Like he's retreated for no reason, which allowed me to set up Brandon.
yeah, and then the whiff happened. He was out of position, and then right there, I was like, every forward's dream.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that was really like Flashee and E didn't want to go in because I had to go AFK for like a couple minutes in second OT.
Yeah, so they called a timeout, and I was like, yo.
I'll just go in because they didn't want to go in. I didn't want to be
Oh,
the reason that we lost though. That's always a bad feeling, like to think about if we did lose.
yeah. All right, so off to the next game we have here. We have, yikes, this one was not good. Winnipeg without Birdo. It was Holly Hartford versus Winnipeg Ice Caps. And I want to start this
Yikes.
off. This game wasn't a hard game, but you do have to give her credit it's deserved. I feel like Whalers played where we've never seen this before, but they played more like a team instead of individuals.
Yo,
And
really though.
and look at this. Black is 3 assists, Oil 4 goals. You never see that with Oil Raider. He's been off this season. He's been
off
going
like a
off.
lot. Yeah. Yeah.
Also, an underrated player, Nick 12. He's been scoring,
Hugely
bro.
underrated, bro.
I feel like ever since he's gotten, remember with Indy, he would play like 0 minutes, and now that
Like
he's been getting
actually.
the minutes, I feel like he's a amazing second liner, and a pretty good first liner.
Like.
And I feel like, oh,
No, sorry. You keep going.
okay, and I feel like this team's really good offensively, but the one thing where you do have to keep in consideration is this defense is all right, but they this team hasn't versed anyone good, and I feel like next week when they have to verse I think it's the Hornets and definitely the Hollywood, I feel like we're gonna see more of how competitive this team could stay.
We're talking about them versus not anyone good with Blackus, like because they versed Hollywood and in week 1 and they lost.
Well, yeah,
But that
but
was without
Blackus
Blackus.
is keeping that keeps a huge effect because Blackus is a people could argue that he's washed, but he's definitely still a franchise player.
I mean, good on Nick 12 though. Good for him for signing with a team that he fits in.
Yeah. Also, Al Fresco's kind of underrated.
Yo,
He's been
actually,
really
low-key.
good at goalie.
I'm still good. So, Comrade, what's your role now on the Whalers? Because you were the goaltender before.
I'm emergency goalie and defenseman. So
Okay, was that like a
Didn't
willing
Conrad get a
decision?
goal at the end there?
Yeah, he
Pretty
did.
sure.
my first career goal, yeah.
Yeah, Conrad.
After playing 3 or 4 seasons or something like that.
Well, yeah,
First career goal.
as like a goalie though. So, right?
Yeah. I played defense for Shenandoah when they first came into the league
Oh yeah.
for a hot minute, and then I was put in goal.
Well, congratulations to you though.
Yeah,
I
it
just want to
was
say
good
also,
feeling.
Sam got molded, and Jets kept on getting. He got like 7 stamina in 2 minutes. He had to run all around this
Okay,
ice.
yeah, this is where the defense for Winnipeg was not it right now. Sam was getting battered.
Sam was being. He did good too. Like he was holding up.
Yeah,
and
you took a lot of shots, dude. And I said at the end, like, this defense is not helping out Sam at all. I feel like it's been like that for a while. Like, I don't know. I know they had like 3 players, but still, you can still manage. No, they had 4. They had like a line and a half. They had pair too.
Yeah.
But
Pear was getting. He's no one's teaching them.
he just looks lost. He doesn't know what's going on. So
I feel like he does have potential. Is that no one's teaching?
he
him.
does. Like, but you just gotta work with him, I guess. But the defense has gotta improve for Winnipeg if they want to be really competitive.
for sure. All right, so
Without
next,
Birdo, like, can they win? Like, can they win games without Birdo? It's the big thing. Like, Hollywood can win games
yeah,
without
because
Brandon
Birdo has
and
a
either D.
lot of he has a lot of real life stuff that he has to do, and you can't always rely on Birdo showing, especially in playoffs.
Yeah. So, like, I think one of the strongest things you can have as a team is being able to win without, like, it's not over reliance on a player. Like, being able to win games without having a certain person there. Like, Hollywood was able to win 2 games without Brandon or either D. So
Yeah, it's really impressive, and the rookies did really good.
yeah. So and it's kind of biased, but it's kind of true. So yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go into now our official uh power rankings, and we're gonna discuss every single team. So at number 5 here, we're going to have the San Francisco Flight.
They had a point.
They have a point, but as the days go on, the chances are getting lower.
Yeah. I mean, they're just missing like maybe like a second liner. They're just missing a second liner.
Yeah, and with the Whalers getting 2 dubs, it's really looking out of reach. Speaking at the Ice Caps, are still with Birdo. I feel like the best chance Flight has is versing Ice Caps when they don't have Birdo.
Yeah.
And then they have to win their next game against the Whalers.
Which it's gonna be a battle for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if Whalers have Blackus, I don't see much of a problem. But if Flight actually have their team, I feel like they could be a good team.
Yeah. You know, Ice Caps are still competitive though. I mean, they just gotta fix their problems. They have, their problems are very manageable, like very manageable. Teaching pair and then not having over reliance on Berto to create offensive opportunities,
Yeah.
and then having your players show up and improving your defense. Improving your defense is like it's not that difficult, really. People think it's so difficult now.
This is the Flight.
We're talking about Ice Caps. Oh, my bad. Or
We're talking
Flight.
about the Flight. Yeah.
Okay, well, still actually, it still applies to the Flight. Even you still gotta improve your defense because they're letting up like bad offensive chances. Even though they're having a problem with their players showing up, but it's close for them honestly to get a win. Like
Oh yeah, for
they're
sure.
just out of reach. Okay.
I just feel like also one other thing I want to add about the Flight is Blazy has been playing outstanding for the team that he's
Bruh.
been on. I feel like if they could keep Blazy somehow and he doesn't walk, I feel like if they just give him like a player like his brother Jam, if Jam comes to the team, that'd be huge.
Yeah. Then Flight would actually be really like pretty good team.
Yeah, I just feel like they need one player, dude. That's really all they need.
Mhm. All right,
Okay.
Comrade, you got any thoughts?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you guys pretty much summed it up there. They need bodies, man. They really just they need people. So I mean, if they could get that second line going and get people to show up, I think they'd be okay.
It's always been like an occurring problem with the Flight franchise, like not having enough people show up. I feel like I don't even know half the people on the Flight, honestly.
One thing also is DMP needs to sign free agents. I feel like free agents are joining by the day, and I feel like he needs to make his mark on them.
And like Black, that guy is never gonna show up to a game.
Yeah, maybe try to bait him to a team that doesn't know he's not active.
I'm almost positive that Black and same thing with like Vichek are not gonna show up to a single game this season. Like and Caspit too. I've never seen him log onto the BHL server ever.
I've seen him log on once.
So like it's just like bad signings. Like you don't need these people.
Yeah, and especially like there's some free agents that are gonna be active. Like there's this guy that kept on joining Oaklove. He's active. He's a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
You have, I mean, I can go on and on about
Sakar,
free agents.
he's not that active though.
Maddie, he's an MCHL player who just joined. I feel like he could be active if he really wants to put his mind onto it.
It's Pure. He's actually a friend of DMP too, so I don't understand why he didn't sign Hey It's Pure. He was on the Hat Tricks 2 seasons ago. And his friends with like DMP from his like Roblox thing. So I'm surprised he didn't sign him.
Yeah, and Robe's a free agent.
Robe will not play probably, honestly, for DMP. I think I thought he like retired or that Henry. That was probably Henry.
That was Henry.
Oh,
Okay,
well,
so next team, we've been talking about the flight for a little bit.
Yeah.
We have the other team that you're trying to talk about, the Winnipeg Ice Caps, 4th in the power rankings.
I mean, another point for them. They had an up and down weekend, for sure. But like I wouldn't consider their loss against the Hornets like a really big deal, because that was like
Yeah, I feel like they contested them really good.
like
And next week they're gonna have a test. If Berno could show to both matches, they're gonna verse the Hat Tricks and let me check the BHL schedule right now. 1
Whalers, I
second.
think.
They verse
I can check it right now.
Yeah, I'm checking.
Yeah,
Ice Caps have 2 games against San
it's a flight.
Francisco.
So
Flight, yeah. So they should win that game. You have to win that game.
they can win at least one game there, for sure.
I feel like both teams need that win. Ice Caps and Flight. If Ice Caps get the win, they're competing for 3rd place. If the Flight win, they're competing for 4th place.
Now, who's gonna be in 3rd or 5th? I meant.
Hartford. Hartford's in 3rd.
Who's gonna be in 5th then? If Flight wins.
If Flight wins, still the Flight. No, if the Flight beat the Ice Caps, Flight are in 3rd or 4th place.
But if Ice Caps win against Hollywood,
then Ice Caps aren't. Because the way the standings are right now is, the Flight have 1 point, and the Ice Caps have hold up, I'm checking right now. So the number 1 is Hollywood, 8 points. Michigan, 7 points. Hartford is 4 points. Yeah, 4 points. Winnipeg is 3 points, and San Francisco is 1. So if San Francisco wins, they'll still be behind because of goal differential, but they'll at least be tied in points, which is where you want to be. I mean, it's only going to be, 6 games into the season? Still got plenty of time.
Yep. But yeah, we already addressed all the problems with Ice Caps. So let's move on to Whalers now. Number 3rd.
Okay.
3rd? I meant
Yeah, you mean 3rd.
Yeah, 3rd place.
3rd place in the BHL official power rankings.
Okay.
Oh, Comrade, did you want to say anything about the Ice Caps?
No, you guys pretty much summed it up.
So the Whalers
Alright.
got 2 dubs here, with the turn of
Yes.
Blackus and Nitus.
I feel like Blackus, give credit where it's deserved. He did really good.
Mm-hmm.
But for what he did last season, I feel like he could have done better, which sounds kind of dumb speaking.
It's his
that
first
he got
game
like
back.
3.
He played one
Yeah,
game.
speaking that he did get like 3 assists.
Yeah.
But still, I don't know. I just didn't see that explosiveness that I saw last season.
Yeah, he didn't score 10 goals this game. It's kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, it's just
so,
like...
He didn't score 10 goals, 12 assists. So it's kind of like he's kind of washed, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, guys, what I will say is that once Oil started putting the puck in the back of the net, we reduced Blackus's ice time, so we could get yours truly a puck in the back of the net for their first ever BHL goal. And so I got a bunch of ice time that game, and so that's why he wasn't 7 goals, because we were talking about in the VC.
Only 7 though.
Is what it is.
Yeah, well, only 7.
Okay, you get where I'm going. Okay.
Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, way to flex.
All right, we're just joking, obviously.
Okay,
Whalers did good. They're competitive again.
So, one thing about Whalers though, they have too many forwards.
Yeah,
they don't really have a true defenseman, a number 1 defenseman
to really lead them.
Like Oil's a defenseman, but he's an aggressive defender.
Pretty aggressive.
Blackus is a forward. Nick is a forward. Al's a goalie. You're a defender, but you're more of like a secondary defender.
Yeah.
And I feel like Oil's a defender, but he's not a true defender. He's like an offensive defenseman, and offensive defensemen don't really pan out in this league unless you're Zahn.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I feel like next week will really show if you guys are the team you guys say you've been saying spammy playoffs.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
We shut you guys out in preseason or something like that. So I mean.
Okay.
Yep.
Flex, and then we won on the road against you guys. So.
Okay. I mean.
All right.
Hey, is it?
Right. Before we guys start beefing, let's go to the.
Tune in next week, guys.
All right, second place, we got the Michigan Hornets. In my opinion, dude, they played so good. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
They if it wasn't for us winning, if let's just say there was ties, they would still be number 1 in my opinion. outplayed the hat tricks. They just couldn't put in the net. Ram was stellar. Our defense was stellar. Zahn was stellar. We couldn't get past. I think we got like 2 shots on Dylan that game.
Yeah, I know I got like 2 slap shots, but they were hit the post.
Yeah,
So
and besides the hat tricks game, they played amazing against the Ice Caps. I mean, they did what they had to do.
Jam sniped like 2 goals, like beautiful
Yeah,
goals.
and Jam got the OT winner too.
So his team might start panicking. They might having some problems with like the management side, but as I've heard rumors, but this team is definitely still competitive. They have nothing to worry about.
One thing is though that this team, they're not taking any of it seriously, and that kind of
Except for
annoys
like
people.
Mia and EXO and Jam.
Yeah, like I've heard like Squid literally doesn't like plays music middle of game. That's not how you focus.
Well, like he just doesn't care. He doesn't want to be there. Like
Yeah, I'm like if you don't want to be there, like I feel like a team starts just like you need to be serious. You can't have any jokers
mm-hmm.
unless everyone's a joker on that team. Hartford.
Hey
I
man,
feel like
you talk trash,
if
man. We'll see
you could
next week.
you could only have one. If you have one joker on your team, you have to have your whole team has to be jokers.
Yeah. It just ruins the flow.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know.
All right, and then we got number 1. Or yeah, you guys don't say anything about Michigan, comrade?
Nope, I ain't got nothing to say.
Okay. So number 1, you have the Hollywood Hat Tricks, and one of you guys can start this time.
Well, as GM of them, I'm really happy of where we are right now. Obviously, I mean, I feel like we've come a long way from what we were when I was first appointed a GM. You know, we were still rebuilding, and we were like just barely making playoffs. And now I feel like I'm really confident in the moves we made in the off season and where it's like the team is going. Like I'm still sad we don't have Blazy, but like Brandon like takes dubs. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Flashee is also very happy with where it's going, but it's all nothing. It's all for nothing if we can't perform in playoffs. That's still really in the back of my mind. Is the playoffs like? It's
yeah, you want to break that streak. One thing I want to say about Hollywood is A, the developing rookie's good. I want to talk about that later though. But B, I just feel like ever since I'm not trying to like get an ego boost or anything here, but I feel like the thing they were missing was aggressiveness and a true goal scorer. I feel like I brought this to the game. Not trying to get an ego boost or anything, but like I mean it's kind of true. I mean, if you looked on playoffs, they were not getting any shots, not being aggressive. They're playing defensive, and I feel like I bring something new. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And now we have more dynamic lines with we have
Yeah.
some of the best two defensemen in the league. No, I mean it's like sounds kind of biased, but it's not wrong. Like E to D and myself, plus Flashee and Brandon.
What do you say about this Hollywood? I mean, you've watched us play, so.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, you guys are all around pretty good. You guys got like a full roster. Everybody shows up for practices and games and all that stuff. I mean, you guys look pretty good, but you got a lot of expiring contracts coming up, if I do recall correctly. So
Yeah.
I hope you guys can keep it together. If not, then that'll really make things interesting. So
one thing I want to say is, since me and Sniper are IRL friends, we're kind of like a package. And I personally, I don't know if I should be saying this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. I want to stay in Hollywood. I feel like if that has not been exposed already, and I feel like if I stay, then Sniper would want to stay because he kind of wants to be on the same team I do.
Yeah.
So I feel like that eliminates 2 really pretty good players.
And I really hope. No, I don't know when. I think either D ends, Ramsisig ends.
Ram is the big question mark.
I'm really pulling for both of them. Honestly, I'm really hoping they stay with us. I think either D will.
Mighty and either D. Mighty's not as guaranteed as either D. It's just Ram is the big question mark right now. He's been saying that he wants to go to.
He's been wanting to play for us for a while.
Yeah, and one thing I want to say about Ram, he's in the Whalers Discord, so that's a really bad sign if you're a Hollywood fan.
Yeah, I mean, really, I think we'll be fine.
And Blackus is on that team too.
Like
and
I
that's
used,
his
I used to
friend.
think that like Ram would just automatically leave, but I don't think that's the case anymore. I think we actually do have a shot of re-signing him, and I really hope he does stay. But I feel like we have to really at least make it to the finals. Like at least, at the very least, make
Yeah.
it to finals for him to even consider it. I
Yeah.
mean, we're already having a really good season so far, and
Yeah.
I
I feel like
I'm nervous, but like at the same time,
what Hollywood doesn't want to do is go 10-0, and then that first round comes.
oh God, dude, don't even say that. I might just like intentionally lose a game just so we won't be presidents like trophy winners.
Yeah. So I think that ends the power rankings here. So now we're gonna go on to the top 5 player rankings official by Blazy and Jam. Shout out to them. The top 5 players. So number 5, I'll name them out, and then you guys can just talk about them. Number 5 of the top 5 players of week 2 was Jam.
So, no surprise there for me.
I feel like a really good game against. He was kind of lacking in the Michigan versus Hollywood game, but if you look at the stream, he lagged. He was lagging really bad,
Yeah.
and I feel like you can't judge someone because they lagged. I feel like he's still a really good player, and against that Ice Caps, he was off. Like he went off.
Yeah. I mean,
Then-
I totally agree with there.
Anything with Comrade? Comrade was saying anything?
I mean, yeah, he's got like what 5 goals this season already. I mean, it's pretty good.
Might have 6. I'm not sure though.
6, 5 or 6. Yeah, he's doing pretty good. No comments.
Yep. All right. So for number 4, we have the goalie of the Hollywood Hat Tricks, Ramsosig. Really good game against Michigan, in my opinion. That was one of the best game of his careers.
He's been having a good season overall. He's only let up 2 goals the entire season.
And he got himself down in the San Francisco game, but that was a slap shot in a corner.
It was
that
a
really
defensive error.
Yeah, it was kind of my fault.
So, he's been having an awesome season so far. The Hollywood defense has been helping out too. So,
yeah, if you want to go back to the goal, what happened was we were trying to pass it, and I did it 3er instead of a 2er, and it gave Lazy a breakaway.
Yeah, so I mean, slap shots are really hard to stop, so like almost impossible.
Yeah, but against Michigan, he was one of the best.
Yeah, played really solid. He gets himself down, but I mean,
2 goals in 4 games,
like
that's amazing.
You're averaging less than a goal a game, like
yeah, you're 0.5.
So, what an awesome season! He's at 2 shutouts already. One against Michigan, one against
A shutout against Michigan. I don't think any goalie has said that.
Yeah.
No goalie's ever said that before.
And what's the other game? Flight? No.
No, Flight are the only team that has scored on us.
No, it wasn't Hartford.
So
no, it was Hartford. Yeah, Hartford. So.
Yeah, it was Hartford.
Congrats to him. Comrade, anything?
Yeah, Ramsey's a really good goalie. You know, he was pretty aggressive there in that game. You know, made me a little nervous. You know, not gonna lie. So
the thing is, he doesn't have a mic he has a mic. He just doesn't talk most of the time. So but it's okay. So we just because he calls us now. Last season, fun fact, he actually didn't be in our VCs most of the time. He's was there, but now he's joins our VCs now. So it's nice. So
all right, number 3. By the way, you can't talk about yourself.
I know,
only me and Comrade can. It's gonna be TJF 101. Comrade, you can get started here.
Didn't he have a hat trick or something? Right? Is that right?
Hat trick against the Flight. Yep.
Yeah. So that's pretty good. I mean, can't say that I've ever done that before. So congratulations for the hat trick. I guess maybe first of your career or something like that.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Yeah. There you go. I mean,
Selkie.
I mean.
Yes, sir.
You deserve it, I guess, man.
One thing about TJ is he's a stellar defender and he's a good offensive person. If not Zahn, he's the Actually, Zahn is probably the best, but he's literally plays exactly like Zahn, except Zahn is a brick wall. No, Zahn is a bedrock wall, and then TJ is an obsidian wall. And I feel like one of the reasons teams haven't been scoring on this Hollywood team is because of TJ's stellar defense. Coming from a average, not even an above average season last year to one of the best. Definitely that off season. I feel like it came down to.
Yeah, hopefully he can keep it going, you know?
And he pretty much did the goal against Michigan. He set it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good for him, man.
Yeah, I know. All right, so number 2 is on your team, comrade. It's Oil Raider. He had 4 goals and 2 assists.
Yep.
Very good game against the Ice Caps. I feel like probably the best of his career.
Yeah.
Almost
but-
unseen.
Man
from
deserves
Oil,
it.
though. Like almost
Wait,
unheard of from Oil. 4 goals. Like
yeah,
what?
like you never see that. I feel like he's gotten better too, a bit better. I feel like originally I didn't think of him as a top 10, but right now I'm kind of regretting that. I feel like he's definitely a top 10 now, and I think he's definitely improved. I feel like all the vets are starting to get up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here comes
And
Flashee. Flashee's coming in, bro. He's like
Flashee's
He's like 6 or something. I don't know. He's close. He's like 7.
yeah, Flashee's at 15. It was at 44.
So. Yep.
The race to 100.
It's still got a while.
Yeah, we still got a bit. And one thing about Oil is, he's really offensive minded, an offensive forward. Maybe not the best defense, but against a not good Ice Caps team, and what was it, San Francisco? I feel like he played offense. I mean, I'm not gonna argue with that. And yeah, I feel like that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
All right, number 1. I'm gonna stay silent here, boys.
Number 1 is Brandon with 3 goals, 2 assists. I mean, Brandon's one of the best forwards in the game right now. You can always count on him to like score goals, and I feel like me and his line chemistry really works out, and he just, I don't know, I feel like he's just one of the players that you can rely on to score goals. Like, it's not that people in the league that you can like just say that for, and played really good coming back from a suspension. And I think he's proving his trade value right now a lot. So, yeah, comrade.
I mean, yeah, he's pretty good. I mean, he performs. If he didn't take that silly suspension, maybe he'd be doing even better. You know, I mean, he's only played 2 games this season, and out of the 4 total we've played.
Mm-hmm.
So his points might even be higher if he wasn't suspended. So he deserves it. Congratulations, good for him, and
Thank you.
see if he can continue this run here.
Yep. Congratulations. All right, so that concludes our BHL's top 5.
Before this podcast ends, because wait, hold up. Oh, you can hear me. This is a big red bar. Whoops. Before this podcast ends, I want to I was gonna talk about a couple rookies I want to keep in mind about their development.
Oh, okay.
So Mighty has only played 1 game, which he did really good with Sniper. Still a rookie. Keep in mind, all of our rookie seasons we did pretty bad. I mean, I had 1 goal in 5 games in my rookie season. So if you're a rookie out there watching, keep in mind the best, pretty decent players or good players. Remember, most of them had really bad rookie seasons. Just you gotta grind. That's pretty much all it is.
Yeah.
All right. Then we got Sniper. He's been doing really good. I feel like he's gotten better. It's just that he hasn't had the option to play.
I feel bad for not playing him at all during the Michigan game.
No, against the Michigan game, he said he didn't care. Like, he really doesn't.
That's what I really like about Sniper. He's so chill. Like, So props to him for not making a big deal about it, and he still showed up to practice and everything.
So another rookie pair. So I've been saying a lot this stream. No one's teaching him.
He doesn't know what to do.
Yeah. Okay, then we got Dylan. Dylan actually left the Discord.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Alright, so he left the Discord because if you know, there's a very tragic death that happened today, Kobe Bryant, and apparently, like that meant something to Dylan. Like he's one of his favorite athletes, and Dylan's going through something right now, and he just said he needs some time off. So I feel like he'll be back by game day, but it's very sad.
Yeah, I think he will be back by game day.
Yeah. Another rookie we have is Caspet. Hasn't done anything.
Amnesio? No, he's not a rookie.
Amnesio is not a rookie. Who else we got here? That's it.
Really?
Or V-Setch and Black, but they haven't done anything either.
Yep. Having spoken to Discord, those two are, mark my words, not gonna show up for a game. Vchek maybe on like a really off day, but highly doubt it.
Yeah. And I think that's all we have for this stream, if I'm not mistaken, TJ.
Yes, that is it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to BSN Coldtake Podcast, episode 7. Be sure to follow all our social media links on Twitter, Instagram especially. Posting a lot on Instagram now. Every team in the BHL has an Instagram now, so make sure you go follow them as well. And our official Blockey Hockey Instagram page at Blockey Hockey. And then, for all the other team things, it's usually like just search up BHL and it'll pop up. Twitter, we have Twitter too. We have BSN Twitter and BHL. We post on BHL a lot on Twitter and announce all the games and stuff, so be sure to go hit us a follow. Subscribe to BSN as well. We have a lot of viewers, but not a lot of them are like subscribed, so yeah. And if you want, you can share as well. I'm trying to think. Is that it? That's pretty much it for all our social media platforms.
Remember to hit the like button.
Like button, subscribe, comment.
Yep. Tell your friends to join.
Oh, Discord, duh, obviously. If you want to join the BHL, then the Discord link is in the description.
Or you could do discord.me/hockey.
And yep, please subscribe to BSN. Thank you. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.